Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tomi Adedeji. On this video, I'm going to be providing tips on how you can record good videos on your smartphone, on how you can produce very good videos on your smartphone. Now, I've decided to make this video mostly for preachers, pastors, and people in the ministry, church-related ministry, who are trying to connect with their audience, especially given the lockdown and corona season. A lot of people are forced to create videos for different audiences on social media, and I found out that a lot of people have been struggling. A lot of pastors, preachers have been struggling with creating their videos. So yeah, help is on the way. I'm creating this video for you. Now, if you're also someone just starting out on creating content on YouTube or any other social media platform or things like that, you might also find some things useful on here as well. Now, before I continue, I want to politely ask that you please subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep more videos coming. Now, I must also add that if you read through my about on my YouTube channel, you will see that this is usually not what I intend talking about on the channel, but I just feel that this one's quite important, and I just felt I should do this video actually. Share some of my own experience as someone who has worked in the media team of different church organizations, and share some of that experience as well. Maybe someone out there might learn one or two things. So hang on, I'll be back. Hi, welcome back. Now, like I've said, this video is about how you can shoot very good videos for your YouTube channel, for your Facebook platform, on your smartphone or with your smartphone. So if you belong to one of those big congregations where they have very big budget for videos and for media, this video is not for you. So I think you should probably move on, or you can just send it to someone whom you feel needs it. Before doing your video, I think there are certain things that you should be clear about. Number one is, why am I going online? Now, going online because everybody is doing it is not good enough. You must have a clear-cut reason, an agenda for wanting to go online. Is it to connect with your existing members as a church? Is it to connect with a new set of audience? Now, all of that will impact on your messaging, your presentation, and what have you. So, for instance, you're trying to connect with your existing members. Now, how that will impact is that you will, are my members actually on social media? Maybe it's best to just do meetings on Zoom if all you want is your existing members. If you're trying to reach out to a new set of people, then that will impact on your communication as well, because you wouldn't use a language that already assumes that people know what you're talking about. So, like, if someone's already a member of my church, I already assume that there are certain things I will say that I don't need to expatiate further. However, if the intent is to connect to new people, then you'll know that you must be mindful of that. You get what I mean? Also, I must add that if you do not have the budget or the capacity, don't do a live video. Do a recorded video and post online. I think it's a lot more effective that way. A lot of times people do live videos within their church auditorium, on a smartphone. It doesn't always look good. One, the sound always sounds very horrible. The sound is usually not very good. And then secondly, because you can't control the light, especially if your auditorium is not well lightened, the background and all of that, it's usually not good enough. So I think if you're trying to, this video is geared more towards, I'm shooting from my smartphone, I'm using my smartphone to shoot, and I'm shooting from, say, a room or an office. If you're trying to do a live coverage of your church service, I don't think a smartphone is the best alternative. Just rethink it. And that's the also, in terms of strategy, you must also think about what platform do I want to use, in terms of do I want to put my videos on? Is it YouTube or is it Facebook? Now you may think that they are all the same. Not exactly. Not exactly. And YouTube currently is the second largest search engine in the world. So YouTube gives you a better, I think that's my opinion anyway. I think that YouTube allows you curate your videos better. You can easily structure them, create playlists. I know that Facebook is also trying to catch up on that. Thanks to trust Mark Zuckerberg. He's always trying to take things from everyone. I know they're also trying to catch up on that as well, but they are not there yet. So YouTube gives you that opportunity to curate your videos better. However, on the other hand, Facebook gives a lot more reach, organic reach, in the sense that if I post I have about 2,800 friends on my Facebook, for instance. So if I want to better reach, Facebook works for me that way, and then I don't have to spend a whole lot of effort trying to get people to see my material. Just putting it there, I'm guaranteed that there's an audience that will see it. So those are the things you want to consider. If you're just trying to do this for the sake of COVID-19, then I'll say just stay with Facebook. You can build quicker that way. But if you're thinking of a long-term strategy where you want to be releasing videos consistently as a church or as a pastor, YouTube might work well for you that way. But the only thing is, it takes a while to build traction on YouTube, except you already have some following already, then that's fine. That being said, don't forget to also subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm also trying to build traction. Okay, before I get into the technicalities of the phone, I think another thing you need to think of is your presentation. Now, I'm not talking about content here. That's what's message you're preaching and what you're talking about. No. So some of you have gone to Bible schools for 10 years, 20 years. You've been doing this for a very long time, so you know your subject. So that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is understanding the medium that you are communicating through. Now, I assume that you're shooting a video for social media, a talking head like I'm doing now, just someone having a conversation with people. I think one of the things you need to understand is you are not on a pulpit. Now, a mistake a lot of people make is they try to transmit their pulpit's mannerism or their pulpit to the online platform. Well, you will get some people who will listen to you, but I think that if you do it better, you will reach a whole lot more people. What do I mean? Imagine me now as I'm speaking like this. Oh, you must listen to this video. Why you must do this? Oh, you see, it looks funny somewhat. It might work in some cases, but I don't think it's the best. You should take the approach of a conversation where you're having a one-on-one with one person, just the same way I'm doing. That way you're talking. You can't be talking to your friend and you're screaming at them, So you might want to tone it down that way. In terms of your presentation, just watch those little things here and there. Just keep the voice down, have a conversation, have some nice background music to your video, and just make it very nice and appealing for a wider audience to listen to what you have to say. Talking about the technicality of the phone, I'm recording with a Panasonic Lumix G80 or G85, whatever. Now, but for a few minutes I'm going to switch to my smartphone so that you can see that you can also get the same quality, but before you do that, one of the things you need to take you need to take note of is the settings of your camera. Now, what I'm saying is this: that when you want to record, you can go to your phone settings. You need to go to your video settings. So for, I don't know how it looks on some other phone. I use an Android, like I said. Even if it's in the iPhone, then you need to find where your video settings are located. I don't know about that, so I should think that different phones will have different settings, but anyway, you can easily check that. For my phone, I use Huawei P20. So if I go to my camera and then I switch to my videos, I go to my settings there, and then I pick the resolution. You see, it gives me different options: 16 by 9, 4K. 16 by 9, 4K is actually a very, very high resolution it gives you, but really you don't need a 4K video, because a 4K video, yeah, the resolution is very high, but you can see that in terms of the frames per second is lower compared to the 1080p that I've selected. Also, it takes a lot of memory space, you know, except you want to be recording your videos and deleting them, you know, when you're done. So you must take note of that. So resolution 18 by 9, no, I wouldn't use this. I think most viewing platforms are not actually equipped for this, so I wouldn't use that. So 1080p is fine. You can also use 720. Actually, the quality will still be okay, but I think you should use the one with the highest frames per second. That's 60 fps. Some phones, the highest may be 50 frames per second, but my phone, I have 60. So you can select that, and that's it. So having selected that, another thing you should make sure of is that you shoot your videos, you place your camera this way, vertically, not this way. If you shoot like this, it gives a video that looks somewhat like this. We don't want that. It's not nice, really. It looks very, it's not nice. It makes your video look very unprofessional, and then it doesn't give enough breadth or enough width. So what you should do is record this way. You should record this way. Okay, looks nice. You should record this way. Also, another thing you should take note of is you can see that when I held the phone that way, it was a bit shaky. So you should get yourself a stand. I can easily put it on a table in front of me. Usually it will come with something like this, so I can stick that on there. So I can keep that there, and it gives you some stability. It's not very expensive. You can get any of those stands. I've put a link to the one I use at the description of the video. So what that gives you, it gives you stability. I mean, your video is upright, it's standing properly. If you decide to hold it with your hands that way, it will be shaking. I mean, you have a shaky video like that. That's not good. That doesn't look very nice. So you should get yourself a stand. You can get a very low priced one. You don't have to break the bank to get some of these things. Just get yourself something nice and that does the job. Also, another thing you should take note of is you see, when I was recording, this is what my phone camera looks like. You can see it's not very bad, and this is a front camera. But I think what you should do is shoot with the rear camera. Now I'm breaking my own rule. I'm holding it with my hand because I don't have a second stand. Okay. So this is what you should look like if you're shooting with. Looks nice? Okay. How do I look? Very good. So shoot with your rear camera. If you can find help, get someone to help you set it properly, and and just let the camera roll and record that way. You get a better quality from that way. One more thing in terms of how you undo your phone, keep the phone at eye level this way. You can see that you're seeing me straight that way. Now, there are many times when some people want to shoot their videos and they put it somewhat like this. You can see it's not looking nice. They put it like this. You can see it's not looking nice. You're looking into my nostrils, something like that. It's not nice that way. It's not nice that way. except you just want to do something random. But if you're going to be shooting consistently online, I think you should do the try and look a bit more professional. Okay, so keep it at eye level. If you get a stand, then that helps you to maintain that eye level instead of holding it in your hands and then looking down that way. That's not nice. We don't want to do that. Also, in terms of your own appearance, I shouldn't need to say this, but obviously I have to, because I see that a lot of people, because they are in their homes or they are doing a video from their homes, they assume, they're very relaxed. And they, oh yeah, I'm just in the house. So I think you should dress as though you are addressing your audience on your pulpit. If you go on your pulpit, you're going to dress nice and whatever you wear, but at least dress very nice for your videos as well. There are sometimes I've seen some instances where someone's wearing just a singlet, because they're in their homes, they're just doing, and they feel, and it's on Facebook. It doesn't look nice that way. Okay, so it's not nice. Dress properly for the occasion. I shouldn't have to say that, but I know that I've seen videos done in that way, so I know that it's something that should be addressed. Also, in terms of the environment, now remember I've said that we are not shooting our live church service. If you do not have the capacity or the wherewithal, in terms of the technical know-how, you need a whole lot more to do a live video, actually, especially from your church auditorium. So if you don't have that capacity, I will suggest don't do it. There are other ways you can be a lot more effective online, away from showing your church service, in which case not very many people will watch it anyway, except your very dedicated members, because it's not well put together. So a better way to do it is to do a talking head, like just talk about what your message, and just have a conversation with your people, build an audience, grow an online following. So in that case, what you need to then watch out for is your background. Now I'm shooting from my room, still trying to put my studio together, so I just had to create a space on my desk. But you can see that it's very clear. There's my monitor and my background. I've turned off the screen because I don't want whatever is on it to distract from whatever I was saying. And then I just have an empty background, so to speak. So that gives less distraction. It's not cluttered. It's not distracting. And it's not the best. It's not very fine, I know. But it does the job. Okay, so find a very good place to record. Nobody wants to be seeing your singlet hanging from somewhere or some cobweb somewhere there. You don't want that. So keep it nice, keep it tidy. Find a corner that's tidy enough. It may be somewhere in your room, it may be somewhere in your office, it may be somewhere in your living room. Find a place that's good enough visually. Also, you might also consider using extra lighting. Now, if you have a very good camera with poor lighting, as against someone who has an average camera with very good lighting, the guy who has an average camera will get better video quality, because at the end of the day, videos comprise of essentially visuals and sound, and what makes up your visual is your light. So you can get yourself some extra light. I'm using a softbox. I'll drop a link to the one I use there. A softbox is it's not very expensive, but it helps you to make the mood a whole lot more welcoming. Okay, it makes the video a lot more welcoming. There are some times where I see some videos online, very good, they've gotten a stand, you can see that the stand looks very good, but it's looking very dark. You can't see the person, especially when it's somebody as dark as myself, and then you're shooting in the dark. People wouldn't see your face. So just get light, get the place lightened up, especially if you are shooting from your room. It's very easy to light the things up. Not your room light, get an extra light. It's more cost, I know, but if you're going to if people are going to make an effort to listen to you, I think you should also make the effort to make the video a whole lot more presentable. So yep, that's all about that. I think this is the last but not the least, your sound. Now, if the video is not very good, if the video quality is not very good, people will still manage. But if your sound is bad, I think even your most ardent followers will not listen to that message, and you'll be wondering, oh, why are they not listening to me? It's because your sound is bad. Now, it doesn't take much to get very good sound. So I have an additional, unidirectional gun mic attached to my camera, just to it's and it's not very expensive, to be honest, just to make the sound a whole lot better, to enhance the sound. So if you're shooting from your smartphone, you can also use the microphone on your smartphone. A lot of these new smartphones actually have very, very good microphone quality, so you can stick to that as well. But one thing you must make sure of is make sure you are in a very, very quiet environment. Now I'm shooting right now, it's about 12 midnight where I am right now, and I'm shooting this video, and that's because everyone has slept, the environment is quiet. I'm shooting in my room, so it gives me a whole lot more, it makes the ambient sound very quiet. If it's an empty room, where there's a lot of echo and sound bouncing around, you might want to think about getting some padding. It doesn't have, it's just getting foam materials on your wall just to absorb some of the sound. But most importantly, make sure you're in a very, very quiet environment. If you can't record during the day, do what I'm doing, record at night. I'm recording middle of the night because that's when it's most quiet. The neighbors have slept, everyone has gone to bed. The cars, there are no cars passing at this time. Well, I hope so. I think there are still a few cars going around, but mostly there are no cars passing at this time. So it's very quiet. It gives you better quality that way. Remember, your sound is very, very, very crucial. So don't joke with that. For some phones as well, some people use some of these lavalier mics, those pin mics with I know there's some of them you can attach to your smartphone, that way, and you just use that. But I think, to be honest, I think your smartphone mic will do an okay job. You're not trying to shoot a Netflix movie. And also, if you're using the mic from your phone or your camera, make sure that you're close enough, at least 1 meter away from your camera or from your smartphone. So for instance, if I moved farther down here and I'm saying, hey, hi everyone, you see that it changes. I'm still quite close anyway, but it changes the quality of the sound a little. But if I move a bit closer, it gives me better sound. Just to reiterate, find a quiet space, record within a quiet space. If your room is empty and it has lots of echo, you can consider padding it up. Maybe just get some foams on there's some of them you can find on Amazon, or depending on where you are, find some of those acoustic foams, and they're not very expensive as well, just to enhance the quality of the sound. You put them on and some of them could serve as could have aesthetic value as well if you design them properly. So I think that's that about that. Take care of your lighting, take care of your camera, make sure that you're handling your camera properly. In terms of the camera as well, another thing you should do is clean your camera lens. Just find some one of those alcohol based cleaners and just clean it, wipe it if it's, there was a time I had this phone, and for the entire duration that I used the phone, there was a clear sticker on the lens, on the front lens, and I never knew, and I was always using, I was like, no, the camera in front the quality is bad. That's what I always thought, until someone looked at it one day, after I'd gotten another phone, And then someone said, okay, why is there a sticker on the front? And then that was when I discovered. So you don't want to make sure that you're not having that sort of problem. So make sure that you clean your lens, make sure that it's properly exposed. I don't mean scratch it, just clean it so that it looks nice. There are no dusts whatsoever that will distort the quality of your video. So just to round that up, clean your camera, make sure you are handling your camera properly. Let's keep it in the vertical position. What else have I talked about? Consider lighting, getting some extra light if you can, and very importantly, your sound. Make sure you're recording in a quiet environment so that there are no noise distractions and what have you. And also, you might want to think about adding some background music to enhance your video. You might want to do that post-production, or maybe as you're recording live. Just make sure that your background music is not overshadowing your voice. And then also remember copyright. If your video has copyrighted song, the fact that you write I do not own the copyright to this song does not work. Okay, so make sure there are ways you can get royalty, get free songs to use or soundtracks. But one of the ones that I use Epidemic Sounds, and it gives you access to loads and loads of music and sound effects for your productions. I dropped a link to that as well, so you must be mindful of that. If you use copyrighted materials on your video, what's going to happen is when you post it, Facebook or YouTube will just mute your video, especially all the parts that has a copyrighted song, so they will just mute it. And you don't want that. You spent a lot of time recording and producing your material. You want people to be blessed by it, to enjoy it. You don't want your video being muted. This is not exhaustive, but I hope I've been able to cover sufficiently enough areas to help you shoot your first video, or if you've already been shooting, making one before, to make it a lot better. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed my material, please remember to subscribe, and also you can feel free to share with some of your other contacts who might be in the same boat, who might find this material useful as well. It's not exhaustive. This is not all there is to know about shooting, about making videos and what have you, but I hope that it helps. And if you have any further area or question that you might want me to answer, you can drop a comment down below in the comment section, and I'll be more than willing to try my possible best to provide an answer. Thank you very much. See you.